My first chapter as a children's author and illustrator. So I've come out with a bunch of different stories over the span of 3 years, over 80 stories, and I'm looking at what I've created, and I gotta say, I have maybe like 5 of those 80 I'm super excited about. So going forward, I want to keep creating things like that, but I want to make stories that are interesting. Let's see. I made a bunch of notes here because I feel like I'd forget a few things. I'm not too interested in forcing stories on people, and that's the thing I want to be super careful of. So I'm not too big into the sales push of my books, and I never really have been. Every time I try to do that, it doesn't feel authentic, it doesn't feel organic. So what does that mean? That means the product development has to be better. You have to create stories that are good enough that people will share. But here's the thing. The world is massive, and if you don't share any of your stories or you don't talk about what it is you're doing, people will never find the stories. It can be very, very challenging. So you do have to put some effort into telling people about your ideas. And of course, through social media, I've sort of gone in that direction. But nowadays, authors who want to become popular, they will have a podcast, they'll have YouTube, and I'm seeing plenty of author YouTube channels pop up, and that's how authors are engaging with their potential fans and their current fans, and that's allowing them to promote their books without being salesy, because it used to be that you would need to get like a press release and you would need to launch some sort of an email campaign to let a bunch of strangers know or have a newspaper out there. Now with digital, social media can really be your friend. A lot of authors are on Twitter and they have their links in their bios to really get people going. But the successful authors seem to not be pushing the book. They're just talking about things that they're interested in. So as the first chapter has come and passed, as I've gone through this journey of creating books, as I go forward, I want to keep improving, right? At the age of only 32, I know that in like 8 years, I should have some incredible stories to tell. And, when you're creating children's stories or you're creating any kinds of stories, you have two groups that you're kind of marketing to, in a sense. You're looking at kids and then you're looking at parents. These are the two groups, right? Whichever age group you write for, those kids will look at you, right? And they'll look up to you and they'll be interested in what you have. But then you also have to get past the gatekeepers, the parents. They are filtering this content through to make sure that it's appropriate and it's appropriately aged. See, this is why traditional publishing is interesting to me down the road. I have kind of a goal in my head that if I could get Scholastic to jump on one book that I'm proud of, like that I actually want to get traditionally published, then I think that would be an interesting chapter to create for my journey. And I know that a lot of work needs to happen to say, wow, this is a story I want to have published. I think that's got a long way to go. Because like I said, I've only got 5 stories that I could really be super proud of. And then the rest are cute. Like they're good. They're a good start, but they don't add to the flair that could be. So this is what happens though. When you create stories, you have hits and you have misses. And the important thing is to keep going and not be worried about failures or mistakes or whatnot, but to say, hey, this is inevitable. I'm going to run into some challenges. And then you just keep going forward. Going forward, that's what I'm going to do. So to write the next chapter as an author, illustrator, I'm going to try new things. Down the road, it might be new drawing materials, new tools, new ways of writing. I might take more time in creating the stories. And I think that will come out a little better. It could be several years before I come out with the next story. I'm not going to push it. I'm just going to be authentic in my approach. If it takes 10 years, it takes 10 years. Then so it shall be. In the meantime, I shall create things that I can do really quickly on the fly. Videos, you can easily create those and throw them up on YouTube and then move forward. That's really what I want to do. Along the way, if I get inspired by some content ideas, and I will put those out there. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. I guess final note, as I see other authors and illustrators out there, I'm amazed at the content quality that's come out, and I believe it continues to raise the bar year after year, and I'm definitely inspired by what I see in this creative space. Hey, I mean, since I'm here, I've got a bunch of books and whatnot. There are a bunch of free stories as well. There's something about free, right? Where it's appealing to people. This is why YouTube is #2 search engine in the world. It's because it's very appealing to people. YouTube is just free. I mean, they have the ads and all that, and that's how they're making money. But there's something to free content that seems to be attracting people, to be getting these eyeballs. Netflix is interesting in that they have the subscription model, but it's like unlimited free content past that. So once you get past the membership, it's like free. It used to be you have to pay for every single movie that you rent, right? $5. And it would add up if you rented like 4 movies in a month. So, what am I getting at here? Well, I've created a bunch of stories. Some are free. You can check them out or not. But I think as artists and creatives, the more you give out that's free content, I think the more that will help you in building your brand, building credibility, building some sort of a connection with your fans, right? Like Rolex, as an example, or any luxury brand, they don't just have luxury products. They also have a bunch of social media content that they're clearly creating and giving away for free. Artists who are successful nowadays, they have a bunch of free pictures on Instagram that you can go and look at. So I find it really interesting that this is sort of what's happening. People are putting out this content. And I guess that's what I should keep doing and seeing where it goes and trying to improve on each step of the way. Okay. I think that's it. Till next time. Bye.